it's quite remarkable when you do come to look. There's quite a good space there. And what's more, Golf comes with split fold rear seats, comes with your ski panel, which folds down behind the armrest. Very easy to put down and take up. If you like, the negative angle of that is the fact that in order to make it as easy, you don't wind up with a flat floor. So if you want to take it, for instance, to the tip, it's going to wobble forward and back. Here's a great feature. Not only does this thing move about to make room for different kind of bottles fore and aft, but you can take it out and open an excellent bottle. If that's what you want to do. But you wouldn't want to be doing it while you're driving. Of course, only when you reach your destination. So, the Golf Mark 6 is a far cry from the original Golf of the 1980s. What do you feel has driven the change over the years?
Yes, the original Golf was a big risk really, because the company was going from the Beetle, rear-engined, rear-wheel drive, air-cooled, to a new formula. And everybody wondered whether it would be a success, but as things have turned out, it was close to the ideal formula, the car that most people wanted to buy. And straight away it established itself as Europe's best-selling car, as has every generation since then. So the 6th version is a further development, the main concentration being on refinement, reducing noise levels, improving fuel efficiency, still keeping the same Golf formula of size and price. And we find ourselves today with a product with benchmark CO2 levels and benchmark standards of equipment and refinement. So we expect to get people from the luxury sector trading down into the Golf, as well as the existing customers.
Many of the changes in the new car have been made possible largely because of the commitment to developing high-pressure engine technology.
It's like the industry has basically agreed now that the next generation of petrol engine, spark ignition engine, they'll be smaller, so we've got 1.4 litres, high compression ratio, 10:1, with high boost pressures made possible by direct injection, so lower friction, higher torque, long gearing, very good refinement because all the balancing problems of the lighter engine are reduced. And so yes, good refinement, good performance, benchmark fuel consumption and CO2 levels. And of course, coupled with our new double-clutch automatic transmissions, with the new 7-speed dry-clutch transmission, we can get better fuel consumption from an automatic than you would get from a manual.
I understand we can also expect a Blue Motion version later in the year.
There's one to come with 99 grams per kilometre. Now, when our Polo Blue Motion came out, that was the first car available in the UK at under 100 grams per kilometre, so we're going to match that soon with a Golf class vehicle.
It's an interesting fact, isn't it, that although the car has moved up market, it's grown in size, it's become heavier, it has more features, more fixtures and fittings, more electric motors running things. It's in every sense a far cry from the basic Golf of the 1980s. Nonetheless, it's become probably more economical than that original car.
I guess this is an indicator to how the big steps forward that have been made with fuel efficiency and aerodynamics and cutting rolling resistance, because yes, cars have become heavier, partly due to the safety equipment that's necessary in cars, the safety structure. We've tried to minimise the additional weight of the noise insulation materials, but the progress has been made with engine technology, transmission technology and in other areas. Yes, we've got a car almost double the weight, and yet the fuel consumption is substantially better than the original Golf. I mean, you might have got 35 to the gallon out of an original one, it wouldn't be unreasonable to expect 70 miles to the gallon out of a Blue Motion model.
One of the things that's also interesting is that how much the car resembles previous models. You've managed to keep this sense of what a Golf should look like right the way down through. But although with the two cars standing next to each other there's a lot of resemblance, I think you've managed to achieve a great deal with the use of aerodynamics, with sound insulation, with changes in materials and so forth.
Quite a lot has been carried over, so the basic body structure is the same, although everything you can touch, inside and outside, is different apart from the roof skin. And some of the mechanical components, so suspension components, some engines, but the big step forward is in identifying all the noise sources from engine, transmission, how it's transmitted, and either eliminating them at source with things like balancer shafts and big strengthening gussets that go across the bottom of the engine to reduce noise at the bottom end, encapsulation of the engine, substantial lining under the bonnet. There's a very interesting piece of plastic underneath the car with lots of sort of anechoic shapes to it to reduce noise coming out of the vehicle. Even the windscreen has got 5 layers, so laminated screens are normally 3 layers. This has 3 additional interleaves, with one of them deliberately there to suppress high-frequency noises that come from diesel combustion, that come through the bonnet and then through the windscreen. Aerodynamic refinements, things like the A-pillars, so that water is drained better, but also that they reduce noise and reduce drag. So a lot of this work in reducing noise is very detailed, very comprehensive. And that's why we've had noise meters here, so people can actually see the difference between a Mark V and a Mark VI, because the differences visually don't look that much, but the work that's gone into refinement and noise reduction is considerable.
Most manufacturers, how do you put it politely, are suffering at the moment. How are things looking for Volkswagen in the light of the recession, in the light of a lot of the news that we hear about the state of the industry?
The objectives for the Volkswagen brand are to retain leadership in technology, so we're not standing still with things I just described. The pressure now to further increase fuel consumption, reduce emissions, improve refinement and offer better value remains. We'd anticipated, obviously, rising fuel costs and improving fuel efficiency and tightening legislation. Nobody had anticipated the degree of CO2 taxation, if you like, that makes large cars so expensive to run, or the recession. So offering cars like the Golf are just right in more ways than we thought for the current climate, because there are going to be people trading down from luxury cars into vehicles like this. So yes, we're investing in technology and customer value for the future, and hopefully when we get out of the recession we'll see an improvement.
Lovely, thanks very much.